14 videos or so. I'm going to shoot one of these summary videos for every chapter that is covered in your text. Okay, and the idea of this is so that you guys can apply some real-world implications from what you're getting out of the textbook, as well as pull out of here some of the stuff that you need to know, and of course some of the stuff that you don't need to know. You should view the PowerPoint before you watch the video. This video is going to be in regards to Chapter 1. Chapter 1 is just a basic intro chapter, covers some terminology that's important for you to know. You'll recognize as you go through the PowerPoints that things are bolded, highlighted, and italicized, underlined. Okay, those are all clues to you that that is an important topic, that's an important subject, so that you should know it. Be prepared for it because you're probably going to see that on your quiz. Okay, so with Chapter 1, you're going to come across first off, some general governmental entities that you need to become familiar with. You're going to hear the names for the remainder of the course. You need to know about U.S. Department of Transportation. Okay, you're going to need to know, some of the stuff that you don't need to know, or like the chemical abstract services, some stuff like that that's mentioned. Not quite as specific. That's not quite as important. You're going to go through levels of training. It's important that you focus on your level that you're learning, and that's the operational level responder. So know what the differences are between an operational level and a technician level. Okay, you're going to see some questions about that. All right. It's also important that you understand the scope and the size of how many hazmat material incidents are out there. Okay, you're going to talk about OSHA. They're going to talk about EPA. You're going to talk about NFPA. It's important that you know which one of these are mandatory to follow, which one's voluntary, which ones have penalties, and which ones don't. Okay, it's important that you understand the term HAZWOPER. That's going to be important. You're going to hear about that over and over again throughout the next semester. It's also important that you focus on Arizona specifically. So there's some slides in the PowerPoint about what Arizona's regulations are. So know those. You need to know what your level is, and you need to know what your state is. That's the most applicable thing to you. So be aware of that. You're going to need to know what governmental agencies are responsible for what. A lot of these questions are going to be gimmies. Okay? EPA obviously has to do with environmental. So if you see a question that involves an environmental spill, EPA might be a good choice. Post Office, United Postal Service, they would cover everything that's in the mail. WMD is FBI, so it's important that you understand what those are. Okay? And then last thing I'm going to say with this is that you're going to see mention of things like an ERG and an MSDS. It's very important that you understand and start wrapping your mind around the differences. ERG, small book, we're gonna break them out in class at our second meeting. Okay, that's a small book, one that we keep in the fire trucks all across the valley. It's a quick reference guide. It's very broad, doesn't get into specifics of each chemical, but it takes all the chemicals, breaks them down into categories, and then gives you general recommendations for that category. And MSDS is very specific, 10 pages long document about that exact chemical and all the chemical components and how it's going to behave out in the environment. So it's important that you distinguish the difference between those. All right, good luck on quiz 1. After you guys view the video, you can take the quiz anytime and then move on to quiz chapter 2. Thanks.